season, we saw Al Horford rounding back into form. Good to see that after. Pass to the Cobra. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That is his first foul of the game.
And for me, Horford, one of the most unappreciated stars in the league. When he's healthy, he's every bit the franchise player because he really has no weakness. He does pretty much everything well on the floor.
Look, three from Korver, and that one's good. Korver's got 8 points.
They're hovering around 50% of the game in three-pointers. That's pretty good. But they've really elevated here in the second quarter.
Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. The Cobra out there with Kyle Korver. And it's Sefolosha in at the small forward position. So that's the Hawks 5. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Thanks, Kevin. The Cobra in the last game against the Magic was simply terrific. He ended with 20 points and was on the mark from deep, draining several threes. A performance like this is what we've come to expect during this great run of his. Will we get another one tonight, guys?
And thank you, Doris. It was a performance that has to have their upcoming opponents terrified.
Yeah, I think they'll be a little afraid. I mean, anybody who saw that game has to still be in awe of what he was able to do. Just absolutely dominant.
Boy, I tell you, he was in such a rhythm and on a roll. He could have won that game all by himself.
That one goes. Count it.
And Horford, I mean, this guy does it all on the floor. But for me, his leadership, that's one of those real intangibles. And he's unselfish, all about his teammates and completely focused on winning. So when your best player has that commitment, it has to rub off on the other players.
Trailblazers trail by 7. And Lillard kicks to Aminu. It's rebounded by Paul Millsap. Millsap's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Pass to Sefolosha. Back to Korver. Here's the Cobra. He is guarded by McCollum. Here's the Cobra. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it.
Right here, Kevin, over these last 10 games on the Trailblazers schedule, this is how they stack up compared to the rest of the league. First in blocks, 5th in rebounding. And they are in the top third of the league in assists. The quality of players they have, you thought they might be better there, but not bad.
And going back to that top ranking in terms of block shots, for me it's been pure dominance. Defensively, they have such great presence around the rim, and at times that gets in your head.
And that one's good.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
McCollum ended by Korver. Back to Kaman. And the foul called on the Cobra. That's his first foul. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Portland. Shot clock at 6. And there's the 3-second violation. And let's bring up a list of point guards that over the last month have been on fire from three-point land. And you look at the Cobra, one of the best shooters in the NBA, top 5 in the league at this moment.
You know, if there are no other options available, any of these guys can just step back and knock down a triple. Great backup plan for any point guard to have.
Well, forget about using it as a backup plan. With the numbers this group puts up from deep, I think it should be plan A to have them stroking it from 3. A clear look at the hoop, he doesn't miss many of those.
As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
McCollum kicks to Lillard. Hands it from downtown. Lillard's got 9 points.
And something else he does is he's great off the dribble. He can take it to the rack or pull up. So as a defender, you don't know how to play it.
Outside Korver. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And, you know, just as you said, Portland didn't have enough to get by the Grizzlies in the first round. Ended up losing in 5 after taking one game, and that was game 4. Just had a hard time breaking down the Memphis defense.
Aminu kicks to McCullough. And another three for Portland.
They're shooting the ball extremely well right now. They're looking at that three-point shot as a way to get some extra offense and really continue to fortify their momentum.
Feeds to Sefolosha. He passes to the Cobra. They get a hand on it, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it.
Another loss for the Blazers when they were the 4 seed, as you mentioned. As a franchise, they have lost in the first round every time they have ended up as the 4 seed. Not exactly a good position for them to be in.
Trailblazers trail by 6. Lillard with it, picked up by Teague. And it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession. And now we'll look at the upcoming schedule for the Portland Trailblazers. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans, they'll match up against the Pelicans. And that's the final game of this 5-game road run for the team. And so here's Portland. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Back to Scott. Outside Teague. Now the pass to the Cobra. Puts the lead pass in front of him.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Here's the screen. Kicks it to Vonleh. He dishes it to Plumlee. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Just 5 to shoot. Lillard, the pass to Plumlee, and Lillard gets double teamed. The putback, and it's slammed in by Plumlee.
He sniffed out that board and then powered it back in.
Pure Mike Clark, so strong, going back up with that one.
Playing to his strength, too, guys. That's what he's capable of.
It's Scott on the wing. The Cobra passes to Teague. The tray. Henderson pulls it in. Trailblazers trail by 4. The finger roll finish at the bucket.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
And with Gerald Henderson Jr., what you see is what you get, a solid player, good athleticism, but he doesn't really specialize, Clark, in anyone.
He's a jack-of-all-trades kind of guy. Skills were somewhat unrefined. That's sort of where he is today. He is who he is.
One shot.
And going back to Henderson, he has the raw tools and intelligence to be a good scorer, but limited range and ball handling skills have put a cap on his development. Plus, he kind of lacks a go-to scorer's mentality.
And, of course, Gerald Henderson Jr.'s dad was a solid NBA player in his own right. Never made an all-star team, but was a 3-time NBA champion. And ultimately, that's what counts.
.132 left now here in the second. Here's the dish to Vonleh.
And for Noah Vonleh, last season came in as a heralded freshman out of Indiana. Some people thought he might crack the top 5 in the draft, but after some shaky late workouts, he fell all the way to 9.
Throw good, Vonleh.
Boy, they're trailing in this game, and they're starting to settle for jumpers offensively.
Yeah, it could work, but I wouldn't take that approach, Clark. They should be fighting their way inside for better looks.
And both free throws good for Vonleh. 1:24 left in the first half. The Cobra passes to Horford. Holiday. Outside Teague. No good with the triple. Well, Greg, in watching Vonleh, you can see rebounder, big hands. Like you've talked about that, simply working on refining his skill set at this point.
Yeah, and it's a matter of work ethic with him because I think the tools are there. Work ethic and experience, and I think this kid is going to be a nice front court player for a long time.
Pocket two. Crab good.
That mid-range jumper is just another one of his weapons.
The Hawks leading.
And with the time left, they still can go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to do it fast. They must hurry from here.
T dishes to Holiday. Passes to the Cobra. And Portland making a change here. There's 25 seconds left in the second quarter. Back to Holiday. 5 on the clock. Portland grabs the miss. Krabs got his third rebound tonight.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
And that should tilt things their way, no doubt. They've been winning on the back.
And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. It's the Trailblazers. They're up by 1. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.